just wanted to do this quick video as I realize what the fuck my hair is doing. There we go. That's better. That's what happens when you go like this for a little bit, and then you've been having hair gel in your hair for most of the day. Anyhow, side note, because that was drama. I've had a little bit to drink. That's the last dredges of the gin and tonic that I was having. Made myself a strong one. Anyhow, this is a video, as I'm sure you guys can tell from the title, not about Times Return Mind Wipe, because he's finally on fucking discount at Walgreens. Oh my god. I'm fine with paying roughly $16 or $17 US for him. So I got him. I've only fiddled around with this mode briefly. I like him. He's pretty cool. I am, even though I had to sell them off, going to reacquire Chrome Dome and Weird Wolf at some point. I do generally like what Times Return is doing. It's just I have to be careful with when I acquire them because of space and everything. But yeah, Mind Wipe's pretty cool. I like him. He's a good budget Mind Wipe so far, and this is only based off the robot mode if you can't afford fans projects, which actually I think just recently dropped in price to $40. And I actually legitimately love that figure. He's over there somewhere on that side of the shelf. And he's basically my Transformers iteration of Tim Curry, who's a phenomenal human being. But yeah, no, Times Return Mind Whip is pretty cool. Again, have only messed with the robot mode. But this video is not about him, as wobbly as his ankles are. This video is literally, in short, even though I'm 2 minutes in already, why I am out on every third-party combiner that has come out. MGo's video that he put out earlier today on Generation Toys' Devastator or Gravity Builder is the perfect example of this, and the perfect example of why I'm not a fan of every third-party combiner. Setting aside the fact that Unique Toys' Orden or Abominus had its just egregious flaws, in my opinion. I couldn't get the chest plate to peg in properly. The joints on the shoulders were incredibly weak once I actually got him combined. And just the quality control on hunger was just atrocious. Was abominable, pun intended. They should have honestly delayed him so they could have tweaked the legs without people having to do the mod. That was necessary, even though I didn't have to. It's just, that figure was literally my worst figure of last year, and it was legitimately, even though I don't know that much about Abominus, the one combiner from a third-party company that I was really looking forward to. And just, that figure was such a freaking letdown when I finally got him combined. Which is funny because each of the standalone robots in Abominus from Unique Toys are really nicely done. It's just the overall product is just complete and utter crap. The shortcomings of every third-party combiner, and this is especially true for Generation Toys' Gravity Builder, or Generation Toys' Gravity Builder. I keep having a brain fart if there's an S at the end of their name or not, is that when you give that combined mode the weapon, be it a gun, a sword, whatever, the hand and thus obviously the arm that they hold that weapon in almost basically immediately flops down, or will with just a light tap of pressure. MGo highlights this perfectly in his review of Gravity Builder. He finally 12 minutes in. Love you, MGo, but seriously, speed up your reviews a little bit. Pigs in the gun to Gravity Builder, and yeah, he holds it fine, just stock still like this, just shooting from the hip and straight out. But then if you tap the shoulder joint right here, on the arm that's holding the gun, the hand/arm just drops straight down, just really quickly. And that legitimately really bugs me. At what point are we going to get tired of saying, the ratchets at this shoulder joint on this third-party figure, be it from whatever company, could stand to be a little bit tighter, and actually stop buying these, frankly, kind of crap third-party combiners, as great as they look, until we get better quality shoulder joints. And honestly, the other thing that really annoys me, most of these third-party combiners, as great as they look, don't stand stock still. They wobble so much when you move them around or when you move the display surface that they're on. Again, to refer back to MGo's video, just because I finished watching it just before filming this, it's very much a case where, with his review space, he scoots Gravity Builder back, or Devastator rather, and you can just tell that there's some wobbling on the stability of the ankle joints for Gravity Builder Devastator. And for a third-party, not official Hasbro release, I honestly expect better. That's why, since Unique Toys is Abominus, and to be frank, I only went in on Abominus because I know we're not going to be getting a proper Hasbro one from anytime soon, or a Takara one anytime soon. That kind of thing is just bad, and it's just poor form, to say the least. If you're going to give us a combiner that either Hasbro has done or won't do, or that every third-party company has done before you, I'm looking at you, Generation Toy, make yours stand out in some way other than overall aesthetics. Your Devastator, like all the other Devastators before it, Generation Toy, looks really nice and has a very pleasing aesthetic to it. But it does nothing to ameliorate the very glaring flaws of every combined mode of every third-party combiner out there. Granted, I don't have Computron yet, the third-party one that, Make Toys, I want to say. Yeah, Make Toys Quantron. That they did fairly recently. And I've heard fairly good things about Quantron, or their Computron. I do plan on getting it at some point down the road. Honestly, I'm kind of done with third-party combiners. Much like I'm indirectly done with this hobby. With the exception of, again, Time's Return Mindwipe here, who I can't even see the fucking face of. There we go. I really haven't collected. I honestly only got Mindwipe here because I wanted something to fiddle around with tonight and just mess around with, after that particularly annoying workday was just some bureaucratic bullshit that came down the pipeline and is frankly hitting me and my work partner for no reason. I've got Generation Toys Masterpiece Jazz, or Masterpiece-ish, because there's some debate on if he's Masterpiece or Classics Jazz, on his way to me right now. I just got the email from Big Bad Toy Store today that figure is on his way to me and will probably be here by early next week. We give far too much credence to third-party combiners and tout them as this amazing thing that third parties are doing that Hasbro isn't, for the most part. Again, I don't have Hasbro's Computron because I refused to pay $90 for it when I saw it at Steel City Con in August. I had Victorion for a little while, but had to sell it off as soon as I moved, just because of finances. But literally every other main Hasbro combiner that's been released, the core 4 or 5 that were released in Combiner Wars, were good enough for me. And were honestly loads better in terms of stability and quality than what we're getting for third-party figures right now, from third-party combiners, from any third-party company. Perfect example of this, and I feel like companies haven't still recovered from this at all, and this is across the board. Fans Project's Menasor, that came out several years back. Remember how fucked up and flawed that figure ultimately ended up being, in spite of the fact that we all, those of us that actually got the figures, or those of us that just watched the reviews, loved how each of the individual figures looked? Remember how completely messed up that figure ended up being? Yeah. This fandom really suffers from short-term memory loss, and I really freaking hate that. Anyway, I'm Phoenix. This has been a rant. I'll see you guys when I see you, whenever the next video happens to be.